Alright, look, we're back. It's another episode, another edition of Strategic Rap Intelligence. Tonight, we're talking about Jay-Z. I'm discussing Jay-Z and this interesting fact that most people never knew about Jay-Z. It's just like sitting around the campfire, man. I produced a 40-minute show for y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's less than an hour. It's just like watching, you know what I'm saying, your favorite rap video show with your favorite host. You know what I'm saying? And it happens to be me, one Sir Robert Lee Taylor, you know, a.k.a. One Sir Grove of EVT, a.k.a. So look, man, I'm back, and for real, peep game. When it was 1996, I'm with DJ Slow-Mo, one of my homies. We're always beefing, you know what I'm saying, because, you know what I'm saying, we're intellectuals. We go way back. I've been knowing DJ Slow-Mo since I was a child, like when we were in Head Start. We were like 11 months old and they put us in the same school. It was crazy. It was before preschool. I was 11 months old in school. True story. And I've known this guy. He's like my fraternal brother, you know what I mean? Anyway, DJ Slow-Mo. We grew up together, you know what I'm saying? And he goes off to college, Virginia Tech, VT, and then back to the UW. And then subsequently, it switched around. You know what I'm saying? I went out to Virginia, you know what I'm talking about, and attended, one of the universities. So, at any rate, back in 1996, while we were still back on the West Coast, DJ Slow-Mo, my homie from childbirth, from youth, whose, situation was such that he and I intersected and we were hooked up, you know what I'm saying, as friends since before we were even, like 1 year old. This cat, you know what I'm saying, my homie, he and I, we're IT focused, we're IT oriented, we're computer science oriented, and we had this foresight, and we're looking at MP3 technology back in Washington State, in Bill Gates' backyard, and a lot of people didn't even know what MP3 was. We're looking at it in this magazine, and we're thinking this is going to be this phenomenal technology, it's going to revolutionize the music industry. So immediately, we start to encode recordings of rap groups that we had been producing. I was working in the basement of the Theta Chi fraternity at the University of Washington. We'd go down. I was with this crew, Criminal Alliance, and it was this faction of multi-faction alliance of all these different artists, writers, from around Snohomish County, up north of Seattle. We put together this organization. We structured this thing with this architecture such that we have Bloods, Crips, GDs, Vice Lords, that's Gangster Disciples, Vice Lords, people from all the different gang sets who wanted to further their lives, do good things in society, for the collective other than gangbang. So we got together, we formed this truce in the wake of Rodney King, and we started to write about our childhoods and our backgrounds and living on the West Coast life, and, crime, corruption, and all this stuff. And the police called us criminals. We weren't criminals. We were actually honor roll students who happened to come from these neighborhoods that some of which were impoverished. And we just happened to live on the West Coast. We just happened to be in these neighborhoods because our parents were in the military and our parents separated. Some of us were in low-income housing for a time before our parents get back on track with their lives and their careers. So we all ended up hooking up, and we formed this network that spanned the western part of Washington State. It was this huge organization, Criminal Alliance. So we would go as a huge entourage, as a team, everywhere together. We went down to the University of Washington on some of the weekends, and we would party with DJ Slow-Mo and his fraternity, Theta Chi, in the basement, and we were just like brothers with the fraternity. We were there to record music. So at some point, DJ Slow-Mo and I, we put these tracks on the internet. Well, I do. But DJ Slow-Mo and I, we're going over the theories and, we're talking about the technology together. And so I load the tracks onto the internet, and I hear that MP3.com is by far the place, the source where people want to upload their music. Because, MP3 can be uploaded to any website, more or less. But MP3.com, the website, at some point became a major player on the playing field of arts and entertainment, music. Independent music. And what it did was the technology, I call that the advent of the internet, because this is back like around 1996 when I encoded my first MP3s. And again, a lot of people didn't even know about MP3 back then. And so I had all these business partners, all these computer scientists, these hackers, white hat, black hat, all these different people I knew in the tech field. And you know, we're north of Silicon Valley, but it's like Pirates of Silicon Valley Part 2. In fact, we call ourselves Pirates of Silicon Valley Part 2 because we had access to these technologies before a lot of people. You know, I know people now that are getting on the internet for the first time, and they just now got on Facebook, and you know, they just now got on the social networking sites. But anyway, I was on the internet 14 years ago, and I had a DSL connection, believe it or not, with my roommate from Japan. We split the cost. It was $70 a month. I had a Fujitsu Speedport modem through the telephone company, $70 a month. I was one of the first Americans who, because I was in college and had the funding, I was able to get high-speed ADSL or DSL before most Americans could afford it. It was a luxury, so I had it, and we split the cost, $35 and $35 per month. So I encoded these tracks and I put them on the internet. Next thing you know, Jay-Z's the farthest thing from my mind. I mean, he's an artist out of thousands of artists. Next thing you know, we're on mp3.com right next to Jay-Z. You know Jay-Z had to know that. You know the man had to know that his music, I mean, look, it's Jay-Z. It's the official Jay-Z music posted on mp3.com. He's on the charts. It's the top 100 in the United States of America, and it's independent artists who are matched up, or rather, they're on the same playing field with major artists. Well, we're major independents, so our music, it climbs the charts. We got top production from Washington State. I'm paying $75, $100 an hour at times to use a studio that Microsoft used to use to record and create some of its CD and CD-ROM software projects. Yes, I was working in a studio that Microsoft would outsource to, and I'm paying $75 to $100 per hour to record music back in the mid-1990s. So my music climbs the charts. My group, 495 DIE Deep in Everett, tops the charts. Young Chili signs on, he tops the charts. Next thing you know, I see Jay-Z. I'm like, wait, this is Jay-Z. It's the official Jay-Z music. Okay, so all these artists like Jay-Z, they're talking about MP3. Madonna was even on MP3. On the hip-hop rap charts, we were one of few record companies in the United States at the time that even knew what MP3 was. It wasn't a big sensation yet. It wasn't this huge, phenomenal, spectacular thing yet. So we're up at the top of the charts, and our song is actually above Jay-Z's song. Now look, man, if I'm selling crack on the streets, okay, I know where every one of my pennies is. I know who's holding here, who's got this, the money stashed, and the guns are there. You know what I'm saying? I know where my money is down to a fraction of 1 red cent. Jay-Z, it was his music, his official music. Jay-Z's not going to put some music out there, especially to mp3.com, and take a chance with the relatively new technology at the time. It was a new technology at the time. He's not going to put his music on the internet and not know about it. Of course he knew about it. He saw our song, Dandruff on My Shoulder, by Young Chili, Little Noopy, and my label. He saw that because we were right above him on the records, on the charts. On the charts, the online music charts, for weeks. And I know he had to be thinking, who the fuck is this group? Who the fuck is this West Coast group? And we didn't move. We stayed above Jay-Z on the charts at mp3.com for weeks at a time. You know damn well Jay-Z saw that song, Dandruff on My Shoulder, for multiple weeks and was thinking, who the fuck are these cats from the West Coast of the United States of America? You know that. Ask mp3.com to go back, look at the records in the system of the internet, bring up that era, and you're going to see that we were on the charts above Jay-Z. He had to fucking know about it. I have a friend, he's a mathematician, he's a mentor from my neighborhood, from my childhood. He's one of the foremost probabilists in the United States of America. Hey, we could do the math on it. It's inconceivable. It's unlikely, it's highly mathematically improbable that Jay-Z did not know that his music was on mp3.com. He knew it was. Because it was Jay-Z's company. They took a risk by putting their music on the internet. And lo and behold, with this new technology, here comes an independent major player out of nowhere. We're at the top of the charts and we're above Jay-Z. And he can see us above his track for weeks at a time. And I was like, damn, I remember that artist. That's Jay-Z from the East Coast. Man, how was it? I guess we're above him on the charts. He knew it. Hey, that was years later, 2003, he comes out with this song called, what? Dirt Off Your Shoulder? That's kind of coincidental.